Dear friends, welcome to National Resource Centre, Central University of Kerala, and to the course on Curriculum, Pedagogy and Evaluation for Higher Education. Today, we will discuss on the possibilities of open educational resources in the higher education sector. Globalization today is making a striking impact on all sectors of our society, and education is no exception. New knowledge is being added every second, as well as the existing ones are being modified or revised. One has to continually update his or her knowledge as per these changes and advancements being made in their respective fields, so as to keep themselves at par with the standards of the global society. This is possible only if there is a vast pool of resources from where people can access, reuse and reuse the desired knowledge without any prohibitions, terms and conditions. Digitization of learning materials is definitely helping to a great extent in this regard. Learners can access the materials anytime and anywhere. Because of this increase in online resources, the educational institutions today are using such learning resources in developing courses and curriculum transaction. But today, because of the strict copyright laws, people are not even able to print or reproduce the digital resources in any form. The potential of online resources can be made use of in the best possible ways only if there is an extensive and significant collection of quality assured resources from which people can access, use, adapt, reuse and distribute materials without the stringent conditions and terms imposed by the nature of copyright. It is in this context that people started working for producing quality digital materials which could be used by everyone without the fear of copyrights, and that is how the concept of open educational resources emerged. Open educational resources (OER) is considered to be a major revolutionary movement in the field of education. It provides a lot of scope for digital learning by providing access to ample learning materials from across the world. So, let us see what an open educational resource is. The phrase open educational resources was first coined in 2002 at UNESCO's Forum on the Impact of Open Courseware for Higher Education in Developing Countries. Open educational resources are teaching, learning and research materials in any medium, digital or otherwise, that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. Open educational resources include textbooks, curricula, syllabi, lecture notes, teachers' guides, references and readings, simulations, experiments and demonstrations, assignments, projects, audio, video and animation. These resources are available as freeware or with varied degrees of freedom of use and distribution, copyrighted under the Creative Commons public license. Today, OER is acquiring wide popularity across the world because of its user-friendly attitude, and it has also started creating its imprints in India too. A wide-ranging continuum of frameworks have been emerging on how to govern licensing of OERs for usage by people. Among these licenses, some licenses simply allow users to copy the resources, while others give users the provisions to adapt or edit or remix it. Creative Commons licenses are the most well-known licenses being used for OERs. Therefore, any online or digital resource available on the web cannot be called as an OER. A digital resource becomes an OER only if it provides appropriate licenses like the Creative Commons public license and has certain characteristics. Now, let us have a look at those characteristics of OER. The first one is openness. Open educational resources should be accessible to everyone, anytime, anywhere, irrespective of whomever they are. OER has to be open to all, and they should be able to access and use it as their convenience. The term open also denotes that these materials should be freely available to everyone for their usage as per their needs, and for that they do not have to pay royalties or license fees. The next one is cost. It is usually preferred to provide open educational resources free of cost to the users. It should be available to everyone so as to be downloaded at free of cost from the websites. If at all there is a cost associated with it, then the cost will be taken care of by the universities or institutions that maintain the websites, and however it will be a minimal one. The next characteristic is reusability. Open educational resources should be reusable. Reusability here implies that the materials developed by a person should be in such a way that it would be useful for people all over the globe and not just for some people from a specific locale, university or institution. Users should be able to apply it into their teaching or learning context and use it as per their needs. There should not be contents or symbols which are related to a specific region, university or institution, which would make its adaptation difficult for users from other institutions or places. The next characteristic is relevance. For any educational material, it is very essential for it to be relevant. Relevance here means that the materials should be genuine and connected in depth to the topics concerned. It should be able to provide insightful and meaningful learning to the learners. These digital resources should be able to provide learners with the apt information on the topics concerned, just as they would have got it from referring books or other offline resources. The next, simple and easy to use. The content and language used should be simple and easily comprehensible for all types of learners and not just for the gifted or bright ones. It should be developed in user-friendly formats which can be easily accessed, downloaded and printed. Then we have copyright licensing. Copyright licensing is one of the most important characteristic of an OER. OER is copyrighted under the Creative Commons license and is available as freeware or with various degrees of freedom of use and distribution. The 5 R's of an OER. An open educational resource should be having the following 5 R's. That is, we should be able to first reuse it. The permission to use a content shared by someone in its altered form. Revise, the permission to alter the content shared by someone as per user's choice, that is, adapt, modify, add, tweak or improve. Tweak means to cut it off. If you do not want a certain part, you can just cut it or tweak it off. The next is remix, the permission to combine 2 or more OERs to form something new as per our needs. We can modify an OER and then combine it with another OER according to our necessity. Redistribute, the permission to share the original OER or the revised or remixed versions with others. And then the last are retain, the permission to access the OER and keep it with us after our use. So, these were the characteristics of an open educational resource. We saw that the most important characteristic of an OER is its licensing part, and it is licensed using the Creative Commons licenses. So, now let us move on to Creative Commons licenses. Creative Commons is a non-profit organization that develops, supports and stewards legal and technical infrastructure that maximizes digital creativity, sharing and innovation. Creative Commons licenses are free and easy to use copyright licenses that can be used by institutions, universities, companies or individual creators for giving public permission or copyright permissions for sharing and reuse of their works on conditions of their choice in a very simple and standardized way. These licenses provide legal mechanisms that help the developers or creators of materials to share their work with others, along with ensuring that they get acknowledgement for their work. It also provides legal options wherein creators can restrict their resources from being used for commercial activities and also for preventing people from adapting their work if they wish so. The following are the different types of licenses which have been developed by Creative Commons. We will see them one by one. The first one is CC BY. CC BY Creative Commons Attribution License. Now, this license allows one to share, copy, remix, tweak, build upon, adapt, redistribute and modify the material or resource in any medium or format for commercial as well as non-commercial purposes. So, you can modify the material, you can use the material when somebody has published a material on the web, and if it is having a CC BY license, then it indicates that you can download the material and you can use it, adapt it, change or modify it for commercial as well as non-commercial purposes. The only thing to be taken care of is to acknowledge or give credit to the creator in our new material and provide link to the license. We also cannot apply any legal terms or conditions or technological measures to it that will put a restriction on others from doing anything that the license actually permits. And the CC BY is the most flexible of all the other licenses. The second one is the CC BY SA Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike. Now, this license allows one to share, copy, remix, tweak, build upon, adapt, redistribute and modify the material or resource in any medium or format for commercial as well as non-commercial purposes. We need to acknowledge or give credit to the creator in our new material and provide link to the license. Along with that, what has to be taken care of is that the material which we develop by remixing, transforming or building upon should be licensed under the same CC BY SA license, and that is what share alike stands for, that is licensing under the original license. So, whenever we make a material by using CC BY SA license, then our materials should also be licensed under CC BY SA, but that was not the case with CC BY. A CC BY material, if you take it and use it, you can license it using any other Creative Commons license. But if you are taking a CC BY SA material into your material, then when you publish it, you have to make sure that your material is also licensed as CC BY SA, share alike. We also cannot apply any legal terms or conditions or technological measures to it that will put a restriction on others from doing anything that the license actually permits. Now, the third type, the CC BY NC, Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial. NC stands for non-commercial. This license allows one to share, copy, remix, tweak, build upon, adapt, modify and redistribute the material in any medium or format. We need to acknowledge or give credit to the creator in our new material and provide link to the license. This license, however, does not grant us permission to use the materials for commercial purposes. This means that we can use such CC BY NC licensed materials only for non-commercial purposes, and that is what NC implies, that is non-commercial. We also cannot apply any legal terms or conditions or technological measures to it that will put a restriction on others from doing anything that the license actually permits. The fourth type is the CC BY NC SA, the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike. So, now NC is non-commercial, SA share alike. This license allows one to share, copy, remix, tweak, build upon, adapt, modify and redistribute the material in any medium or format. But here we need to take care of three things. First, we need to acknowledge or give credit to the creator in our new material and provide link to the license. Next, this license does not grant us permission to use the materials for commercial purposes. This means that we can use such licensed materials only for non-commercial purposes. Along with that, we need to make sure that the material which we develop by remixing, transforming or building upon should be licensed under the same CC BY NC SA license. We also cannot apply any legal terms or conditions or technological measures to it that will put a restriction on others from doing anything that the license actually permits. The next is CC BY ND, Creative Commons Attribution No Derivs. Now, this license gives permission to copy and redistribute the material or resource in any medium or format, both for commercial and non-commercial purposes. However, we cannot alter or modify the content. The content has to be passed along unchanged in its original version. If we remix, modify or alter it, then we cannot share or distribute it. This is what ND stands for, no derivatives, that is, no change allowed in the content. We also cannot apply any legal terms or conditions or technological measures to it that will put a restriction on others from doing anything that the license actually permits. The last one, CC BY NC ND. Creative Commons Attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives. This license gives permission to copy and redistribute the material or resource in any medium or format, but only for non-commercial purposes. That is what NC stands for, non-commercial. And also we cannot alter or modify the content. The content has to be passed along unchanged in its original version. If we remix, modify or alter it, then we cannot share or distribute it. So, this is what ND stands for, no derivatives, that is no change allowed in the content. We also cannot apply any legal terms or conditions or technological measures to it that will put a restriction on others from doing anything that the license actually permits. Now, moving on to the quality aspects of an OER, Quality Assurance Guidelines for Open Educational Resources. Let us have a look at the TIPS framework given by SEMCA, which gives quality assurance guidelines for developing open educational resources. The framework states certain criteria to be taken care of while creating open educational resources so as to ensure good quality. The criteria have been split under 4 areas. The first one, teaching and learning processes. A study guide should be given to users on how to use OER. Learner-centered approach should be used in the teaching learning materials. Use appropriate and authentic pedagogy reflecting on the latest changes and transformations. The reason and purpose of OER should be specifically stated along with its relevance and significance. It should be in line with the local wants and needs of the users and should anticipate the present and future needs of learners. The aim should be to support learner autonomy, personal independence and self-sufficiency. Style of conversation preferred is an active voice which would be free from gender bias and it should be user friendly. Language used must be simple and appropriate for learners' age and cognitive level. Include learning activities which build in learners the skills of learning to learn and help recycle new information. Link information with outside world and explain the relevance of the material and why it is essential for them to learn it. Develop intrinsic motivation in learners by including surprising anecdotes that arouse curiosity. Keep track on the rate of completion of OERs, the satisfaction level of students and to what extent students recommend your OER to others. Use a variety of self-assessments in the material such as quizzes, multiple choice questions, comprehension test, concept test and so on. Connect formative self-assessment to help mechanisms which offer further learning support to users. There should also be provision for feedback and suggestions from users on how to further improve the OER. Now, the second one, information and material content. Consult subject experts to ensure that the information and material content is up to date, accurate and reliable. Equality and equity should be reflected in the content. It should be abiding to the law and free from any sort of discrimination. The content should be socially inclusive and it should promote social harmony. The content should be relevant and appropriate. It should not contain materials that distract learners from the main topic. Content should cater to the local context of users and it should be authentic and internally consistent. It should encourage situational learning and should be built on prior knowledge and experience of learners along with their empirical and indigenous knowledge. OER should be the size of a standard learning unit but compact and to the point. Avoid too lengthy materials and check if it can be reused in other disciplines. The content should be enriched by providing links which are connected to other relevant materials related to the unit. Now, the third one, presentation, product and format. The OER license should be visible to all in the presentation. OER must be easily accessible to everyone. Material should be presented in a clear, concise, orderly and logical way with good quality sound. Product should be designed in a very attractive manner with effective color contrast so as to stimulate learning. Provide space in the material for getting feedback from students. Check if the OER can be printed, used offline and it is suited for mobile usage. The OER should be delivered in open formats so as to allow maximum reuse and remix. Suggestions can be given on which OER would come prior to our OER and which would come after it in a learning pathway. And the last one, system, technical and technology. It is better to add metadata tag about the content. This will help in finding the OER later on. Metadata tags can also be given for expected duration of study, expected difficulty level, format and size. The sourceware or the software used should always be free and easily transmittable across platforms. The OER should be easily adaptable. For example, the teaching content should be separated from our computer code. We should be able to keep an offline copy of the OER and it should be easily transmissible and portable. A provision should be made for transmitting the OER along with students' work to the student's own e-portfolio. The date of production of OER along with the date of next revision should be included in the OER. So, this was on quality assurance of open educational resources. Now, let us see how to search and find open educational resources on the web. So, searching OER, first we begin with our own Google. Now, how can you go to Google and find out if the material is an OER? We all use Google for our educational purposes, for writing articles and research works and everything. We type the topic or the name and you give search, a number of articles come on display. Now, how can you make sure that these articles are open to use or if they are copyrighted or not? So, to find out or to search for open education resources, there is an easy way. Go to the Google homepage. On the Google homepage, if you can see on the right side down part, you get settings. Click settings on the Google main homepage. When you click settings, you get a subtitle advanced search. So, click on advanced search and when you click on advanced search, it takes you to another page. There you will see, if you just scroll down, you will see an option on the left side, usage rights. Just scroll down and on the left side when you scroll down you can see a option usage rights. If you click on usage rights, the CC licenses will come to display. whichever CC license you want, you click on that and then you give advanced search. The materials which appear will all be under those CC license which you had given here. So, the materials which appear, they all be open educational resources. So, this is one way of searching for an OER through Google. Now, similarly, if you want to take an image, we always download pictures and images for our educational purposes. Now, how do we know that these images are copyright free or not? It is always safe to go with an OER image, an OER picture. So, again, what you can do is, if you want the picture of a lotus, you type lotus and you give search, and we all know that Google Images option is there. So, you click on Google Images. On Google Images page, you have a title called Tools. Click on Tools. If you click on Tools, then immediately you get many subtitles, and one such subtitle is Usage Rights. If you click on Usage Rights, there they give you options of Creative Commons licenses. So, click on any one and then give search. Then you can see that the pictures which appear will be belonging to open educational resources. So, that will be more safer. Now, next is our YouTube, the most commonly used site by all of us, whether be it the entertainment purpose or the educational purpose. So, what you can do, go to YouTube main page, and when you are downloading videos or watching it, how can you know that the video you are using is an open educational resource, or if it is having a standard or copyright license? We are not mostly aware of it. We just take the video and we use it, being not aware that it can be copyrighted and we will be under legal trouble. So, if you download a video which is an OER, then you are on the safer side. So, how to find out a video which is licensed under Creative Commons from YouTube? This is what we will do now. Just go to the YouTube main page. Now, suppose you want to type a topic of, for example, digital learners, just type digital learners and you press enter. Now, you can see a option filter. If you click filter, you get a subtitle features. Click on features, and features will show you an option Creative Commons. So, first go to the YouTube main page, you type the topic and give search. Then you see an option filter, click on filter. Under filter you can see features, click on features again, and under features you can see the option Creative Commons. So, click Creative Commons and then all the videos which come will be open educational resources. Now, suppose you want to see that if the video you have selected is an open educational resource, how do you check? How do you know if the video is an OER? What you can do is play the video. Once the video starts playing, just scroll down a little bit. There you have an option which is written show more below the video. When you scroll down a little bit, you get an option show more. So, click on that show more. There it will show whether it is a Creative Commons license or if it is a YouTube standard license or if it is copyrighted, whatever it is. So, to confirm, go to the video, play the video, scroll down, click on show more, and there you can confirm if it is Creative Commons or some other license. Usually all YouTube videos will be having the standard YouTube license, and under every video, if you can see just below the screen, there is an option CC. So, that is not Creative Commons, you should not confuse with that. That CC is different. You have to scroll down the video a little bit, you will get a sub option show more, click on that, and there is where you can see the kind of license of the video. So, this was about YouTube, and next we have NROER, the National Repository of Open Educational Resources. It was developed by CIET and CERT, and it was launched on 13th August 2013 in New Delhi in collaboration with the Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, and NROER has educational resources in many subjects and in different Indian languages for primary, secondary and senior secondary classes. Except the NCERT textbooks, all other contents available on NROER is under Creative Commons CC BY SA 3.0 license. So, you needn't have to take the material and always check if it is an OER. If you are taking the material from NROER, definitely it will be an OER. So, what you have to do is go to NROER website. If you just give NROER and give a search in Google, the website, you will get the website link. Go on to the NROER website, and when the home page comes, you have an option called repository. Click on repository. There you will find sections, e-library, e-books, themes and many sections. So, the themes, e-library and e-book sections will give you many OERs. So, first go to NROER main page, click repository. Under repository you will find themes, e-library and e-books. These three sections will give you plenty of OERs. So, you can go through it. And the next one is OASIS. OASIS is the Commonwealth of Learning's online institutional repository for learning resources and publications. The publications found here are licensed under Creative Commons CC BY SA 4.0 and can be freely downloaded for reuse and adaptation with attribution to COL, Commonwealth of Learning. The COL is an intergovernmental organization developed by Commonwealth Heads of Government in 1987. The major aim of COL is to promote the development and sharing of open learning and distance education knowledge, resources and technologies. And here you have research and publications, articles, books, reports, etc. So, try that website also. And the next one is Open Textbook Library. Open Textbook Library gives you textbooks that have been funded, published and licensed to be freely used, adapted and distributed. These books have been reviewed by faculty from a variety of colleges and universities to assess their quality. These books can be downloaded for no cost or printed at low cost. All textbooks are either used at multiple higher education institutions or affiliated with an institution, scholarly society or professional organization. So, go to Open Textbooks website. If you click on Google Open Textbook Library, if you give search, it will give you the link. Go to Open Textbook Library website. There on the main page you can see Browse Subjects option. If you click on Browse Subjects, different subjects will appear like education, commerce, science, maths or whatever. Whichever is your discipline, click on that subject. Immediately it will divert and take you to a page with n number of books related to that topic. And you get CC licensed books related to your subjects. So, it is very useful. Please do try that also. And the next one is Pixabay. So, go to pixabay.com and you will get plenty of pictures there. And some of you might be using it. Pixabay is a vibrant community of creatives sharing copyright free images and videos. All contents are released under the Pixabay license, which makes them safe to use without asking for permission or giving credit to the artist even for commercial purposes. So, apart from the above mentioned sites now, there are many number of sites which offer OERs. We cannot take every site and explain it here. So, a few major ones among them are given below. They are the National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, Sakshat, Pratham, OER Commons, Khan Academy, Merlot, OpenStax CNX, MIT OpenCourseWare, Open Education Consortium, Connexions, Hippocampus, Wikimedia Commons, Creative Commons Search, open textbook library which we saw earlier, Wikibooks and so on. So, try all these sites, you will get many useful educational materials which are OERs. So, thus in this module we discussed in detail about OERs, its characteristics, Creative Commons licenses and its different types, and how to assure quality of OERs. We even discussed on how to search OERs on the web and some useful OER sites. Even if the term Open Educational Resource was introduced in 2002, till now it has not gained significant momentum and acceptance in many places. This is because of the lack of awareness among the users on OER. It is therefore very essential to first make people understand about OER and promote awareness on it. If this is done, then users will automatically start developing and using OER at its best. Learners today are expected to meet the escalating standards of our global society, and for this they need to develop global skills. Digitization of learning materials is helping everyone in this regard to a great extent, and one such significant step put forward is the OER movement. If the potential of open educational resources is utilized in the best possible ways, then we will definitely be able to cope up with the global standards of education and thus bring a major transformation in the higher educational system of our country. So, hope you all have enjoyed this session on possibilities of open educational resources in the higher education sector. Thank you everyone.